Hi everybody, Sanbonani, welcome to my channel. Listen, you guys, do make sure that you are subscribed, because some of you do watch without subscribing, but I do forgive you because sometimes you just don't know. Okay, so look below and see, does it say subscribed? If it doesn't, then it means you need to subscribe. Also, guys, we do have a membership on this channel and it's only 99 rand. Okay, so just go over there by the join button. It will tell you what to do. So listen, you guys, the Chidima story. Am I pronouncing it right? Okay, I hope that I'm not butchering her name. So now this story has been trending, you guys, for days, and obviously I was absent on YouTube. I couldn't talk about it. And also when I was well enough, now I had to sort of go back and see what has been happening with this story so that I understand it better, you guys. And my understanding is that this lady is going to represent South Africa in the Miss Universe. And what the issue that people are having is that they are saying she is not South African for her to be representing South Africa. Okay, should people from other countries or who are not South Africans represent South Africa in any kind of competition? I think not. Okay, because I do know for sure that Nigerians wouldn't put up with it if a South African went over there and for some reason they were now representing Nigeria in anything. Okay, sports, whatever, you know, I know that they wouldn't put up with it. But the issue that I'm having with this, you guys, is that she has gone as far as she has gone. And if the final determination is that she is not South African, the problem is not really with her, the problem is with the system. Because if they allowed her to enter this competition even though she wasn't supposed to, then the problem is with their processes in admitting the people for the competition. That is what they need to fix, so that maybe in the future we don't have this issue. So as much as I feel like, you know, it's upsetting that that could be a possibility that somebody that is not South African has entered the competition, I do feel like a little bit it's not her fault. Okay, the people that are running this competition should have checked on it. Okay, so let's go back a little bit and find out what has been happening with this, you guys. And also, there is an interview that has been trending where people were saying that this was her father that had done this interview. I listened to that interview. I was like, listen, it does not make sense, because that man was over there talking about coming to South Africa for the World Cup, meeting his wife in 2010, and then in 2013 they started having kids. And then I'm like, hey, but Chidima is not 13. I'm like, I don't understand. She should be 11 if that's the case. If she was born in what 2013, so she should be 11. I'm like, there must be a mix-up or something with this interview. So we're going to read about that, because she does comment on that, you guys, about who that was in the interview. Also, the Home Affairs has weighed in on this issue as well. Just saying, I guess Home Affairs should have all of the records to say, is this a lady South African or not, you guys? So obviously, you guys, there's been a lot of xenophobic, you know, comments made online because of this, and most of it, you guys, it's on Twitter, because on Twitter, you know, people just say whatever it is that they think. Okay, they don't restrict themselves. And if you're going to get abuse from online, it's most likely going to come from Twitter. So it says here that Miss South Africa finalist faces xenophobic abuse over Nigerian heritage. Okay, a contestant in the Miss South Africa beauty pageant has had her eligibility questioned and received a flurry online abuse because her father is Nigerian. Chidima Vanessa, who is 23 years old and is a law student and a model, was born in Johannesburg township of Soweto and lives in Cape Town, and her mother is South African. She was announced on the 1st of July as one of the 13 finalists competing in to represent South Africa at the Miss Universe pageant. But has been subjected to a host of racist attacks online, with many questioning her nationality and some circulating a petition to have her removed from the pageant. At first, I ignored it. This is her. But as I progressed in the competition, the criticism started to grow. I thought to myself, I'm representing the country, but I don't feel love from the people I'm representing. I even asked myself, is it worth it? Okay. To be honest, I just feel like all of this is black on black hate, as I'm not the only one in this competition who has a surname that is not South African. Okay. I feel like, honestly, you guys, as South Africans, we think of the nationality in the same way that we think of your identity. When you are born to a woman, like my surname, I have my surname, and my husband has his surname, and my kids take that surname. I think in this case, people are thinking of it that way, that because her father is Nigerian, then she must be Nigerian, okay? And they're not thinking about the fact that she is saying, because we don't know if it's true, I don't know, I'm not Home Affairs, she is saying that she was born here, her mother is from here, and if she was born here and she is a citizen here, does she qualify to enter that competition? And the people that can answer that question is the people that run the competition. Do they have anything that says that if you are born in South Africa but your parent or one of your parents is from another country, you cannot enter the competition? Did they break any rules? Or they don't even have a rule? They just said that if you're a South African citizen or if you're a national of South Africa, then you can enter the competition. I don't know, you guys. They probably didn't think that people were going to pay that much attention to the whole thing. So now, you guys, it says here, Miss South Africa says that the man in a viral interview is not her dad. There is an interview that was going around and trending, and the man was talking about meeting his wife, what, a South African wife marrying her, and then the children have his surname. But in the clip that I listened to, you guys, I didn't hear the guy say that I am Chidima's father. But people had made that conclusion, and I was trying to figure out how, okay, and I didn't find anything that was indicating, except that that's how it was titled, the clip, that this is Chidima's dad speaking in an interview. But everything was not making sense because the timelines were not timelining, okay? So it says here, Miss SA top 12 finalist Chidima Adetshiwa has had to deal with the barrage of online trolling and xenophobic attacks at her heritage. Am I reading the final one? Okay, yeah, it's the one. Okay. So, during the interview with Sowetan Live, the 23-year-old law student questioned whether it was worth entering Miss SA following tons of backlash, okay? Chidima admitted she accepted criticism, but it's just a matter of you trying so hard to represent a country, and you wear it with so much pride, but so much grace, and the people you are representing are not even in to support you. An interview with a man claiming to be her father has also gone viral. The unknown man was interviewed on Ben Stage podcast, and I tried to find this podcast, you guys, to get the full interview. I just couldn't. And the man claimed, okay, let me just read it again. An interview with a man claiming to be her father has also gone viral. An unknown man was interviewed on Ben Stage podcast and claimed he first came to South Africa for the 2010 World Cup. I'm Nigerian and my wife is South African, and I have lived in South Africa. I spent 10 years in South Africa, he added. The video soon went viral on social media, forcing Adetshiwa to issue a warning on her IG stories. The individual in question, claiming and impersonating my dad, is not my father, she wrote, okay? Like I said, you guys, on the clip I listened to, I don't hear a man saying that he is her dad, okay? It looks like it might have been an interview about some other Nigerian men who had a South African wife and kids that were South African and Nigerian at the same time, because that is what he says, okay? Ex-users realized that they were taken for a ride. It makes sense, because why the heck didn't they show his face? It's just a voice, commented an online user. Another one said, it's probably a South African mimicking a Nigerian accent. People have time, okay? I don't know, you guys, if it was a real interview or not, but definitely the information that this man was giving in an interview did not match the interview, the information, the personal information, Chidima. Okay, I'm still hoping that I'm pronouncing her name right. If I'm not, I do apologize. Now, you guys, on another article from Abona magazine, they are talking about what the Home Affairs is saying about this story. Okay, now I don't want to read the whole thing because some of it is just a repetition of what I've read in the previous article. Following online discourse, politicians, celebrities, and various other influential figures have shared their opinions on the matter. With the rules regarding her South African citizens still unclear, the Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Njabulo Nzuza, has since spoken to the media to shed light on the incident. In an interview with a radio station 702, he highlighted his inability to disclose personal information, but stressed that citizenship in South Africa is not obtained by birth, as it is in other places like United States of America. Instead, it is obtained by blood. Okay, it is commonly acquired either by soil or by blood. When we say soil, it is because you are born in that country and then you become a citizen, he explained. That doesn't make sense. If you say that it's not obtained by birth, but then it's obtained by soil, but soil means birth. So it's the same thing. He continued, one country which adopted this is America, whereas if you are born there, you become a US citizen. However, in South Africa, you get citizenship by blood. One of your parents must be a South African, then you qualify, okay? And one of her parents is South African. He further highlighted that should parents have the proper documentation to prove that they are legally in the country, permanent residency will then be granted to their child who is born in the country. Meanwhile, the news and entertainment publication, The South African, reported that Chidima and her mother are born South African and that she met all the criteria to enter the pageant. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like for me, it all depends on the rules of the pageant. If the pageant say that if you were born in South Africa, we don't really look further than that, for us it's good enough, you can enter the competition. And if us as South Africans have a problem with that, then maybe they need to change those rules so that we can make sure that the people that end up representing us in that competition are the people that are supposed to represent us in that competition. I obviously feel like, you guys, obviously the Home Affairs has all of the records over there to say that they, if she is really like South African, they know it. And I feel like if they had anything that was against that or that was indicating that she's not, it would have come out by now. Okay, so I don't know, you guys. Here is my thoughts, okay, and it's just my thought. I feel like if the Home Affairs has determined that she is South African and the competition, whoever is running the competition says that because of this and this and that, she does qualify, then, I mean, I think we need to leave it alone, okay? However, if Home Affairs says that, listen, there is something funny about this person, she might not be South African, then we have a valid point in saying, wait a minute, okay? Why are we being represented by a Nigerian, okay? It all depends on that. I feel like I don't have enough information to know for sure that she shouldn't be over there. I just know that if she is Nigerian, she shouldn't be. But if she is South African, then she should be there. Yes, okay, those are my thoughts. Anyway, you guys, tell me what you think about this in the comment section. This blood and thing, it's just not making sense to me, okay? The blood and the bath, okay? Anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching my video. Please like it before Pumegona. It's been a long day. Also share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. I've been trying to catch up, so it's been a lot. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video.
Sanbonani, hello. So I just wanted to add my 2 cents about the whole Miss South Africa conversation that's happening right now. And from what I've been reading and watching and everything that's been happening around this whole conversation, I just feel like it's important to highlight a few things. One, we must not be silenced into believing that if you raise issues that are making us unhappy or uncomfortable in South Africa, it's because we self-hate or because we hate Africa or whatever the case might be. Because all throughout Africa, there are many different countries in Africa, but I don't remember even one of them being made to believe that they have to accept every single thing from every single person who's not even South African in order for them to feel like they're black enough or African enough. You know, other countries can enforce their laws and make sure people abide by them, even chasing out people who are not in their countries legally or walking around and being asked to produce your IDs. For those who've traveled, you'll know that in other African countries, you don't just walk around in jail just by you being black and being African and you think you have free will to do as you please. It doesn't work like that in a lot of African countries. But our country, unfortunately, has opened us up to a lot of vulnerability because we are made to believe that anything that we say that is for the country and that is how we as citizens are concerned about our own country, it's because we're xenophobic or we're Afrophobic or it's because we love white people. So this is the new thing now, that if you raise any issues because you're scared of white people. And my question is, the same people that are saying we're scared of white people, blah, blah, are the same people flocking to European countries. So you're saying we must chase Europeans out of South Africa so they can go back to Europe, as some of you always say. And then you're the same people that will go to European countries because now you've made a mess of every single African country and we're supposed to be okay with that. How does that work? It's really confusing for me. And then also some people will say it's because we've been colonized to believe blah, 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 blah. Listen, there are countries like China and Japan and India. All are in the same continent, that's Asia. But you don't see Indians flocking in millions to go live in China or millions to live in North Korea or in millions to live in Japan and expect the Japanese or the Chinese or the Indians to accept them by virtue of them being from the same continent. Why is South Africa given that burden? So you're saying to me that Asians hate being Asian because they don't want to allow other Asians to just walk into their countries freely. What is so special about the notion of being black and being allowed to go anywhere you want in Africa, where other countries are not doing that and they are not self-hating? They are not people who don't love themselves or love white people more. Like, Asians couldn't be bothered by white people, but apparently we're bothered by white people when we try and implement rule and law in our own country. Guys, South Africa has gone through a lot. We don't have a problem with other countries. We embrace them. We even dress like Nigerians. We dress like Swati people. We dress like anything. We don't have a problem with anyone. All we ask is for people to be in South Africa legally, and when they're here legally, to behave themselves, to respect the country, to respect its people, to respect the law. That's all that we ask for. Why are we being made to feel bad about it? So are we just supposed to allow people to just walk in and out the country and do as they please? It's not fair. It's really not fair. We've seen crime, we see trafficking, we see abuse of this country and its economy and its state. And the only thing that we're being told is because we don't want to be African enough. No, African unity, if it's a big deal, if it's so important, all the people that want this African unity so badly, why do you need to have the African unity in South Africa? Can you go and have the African unity in any other African country? We don't mind. We don't see South Africans flocking in millions in other people's countries because we're seeking for African unity, you know. And even if South Africans do go to other countries for work or for whatever purpose, It's because they get there, they behave themselves, and they treat the people of that country with respect. They treat the law of that country with respect. We don't go around being entitled to other things. So why must South Africans be subject to this? Why must South Africans be told, you can't do anything about it, we're going to come to your country? I hope our government does something about this, because the problem started because of our government and the people who work in these departments that allow people to come into the country anyhow. It's time to be patriotic about South Africa.